Hi guys, Leanne here. Thanks for coming back again. I had something a little bit different planned for today, and you can actually see some of my notes that I've taken. I was going to run through a history of suicide because I think that is a lot of where the term the easy way out or it's the coward's way out comes from. And I have been finding that there's been a lot of battles where when the opposing team is losing, rather than being taken and tortured and enslaved and treated horribly, they would just kill themselves and be done with it. So that may be hopefully how it started. I do have a story here on Ajax the Great. Ajax is where I live, so I thought that was just a fun one. He had a war with Troy. Go figure. We also had Aristotle. I think everybody knows who Aristotle is, or has at least heard his name. He condemned suicide. Not for any real reason. The only reason I could find was that he he did not condone suicide because he felt that it robbed the community of a service, and I mean service by a funeral service, to honor that person. So that I found quite interesting, and I think I might just make a whole episode on that because a lot of people don't feel like we should honor the person that committed suicide. There's nothing honorable about them, otherwise they wouldn't have done this. And obviously he has a lot to say to the contrary. Other than that, yeah, there was. I started getting into the Japanese kamikaze pilots and how they did, and actually how the samurai warriors' wives were also committing suicide after their husbands died in a show of honor for their husbands. So we over here in the great land of North America just don't see things a little differently, and I'd like to dive into that a little more. My theory has always been the more information you have and the more knowledge you know about anything, the smarter you become and the better you are at making conclusions rather than just rash judgments. I hate to say it, but I have a friend, very good friend. Anytime we start talking, and we've pretty much stopped talking at this point, it's been 20 years for me. He's always said, "Oh, you know what I think? Suicide's the coward's way out. It's the coward's way out." But I guarantee you, he's never once stepped on a chair or a ladder or milk crate or whatever the hell you want it to be. I'm short, so it's got to be something pretty tall. Tie a proper noose around your neck and hope that it holds around the water pipe or the wood beams holding up the next floor, and step off. That's not easy at all. That's not being a coward at all. You know what a coward? I think the only no, I don't even want to say that. No, I'm not even going to get into saying that. Anyways, so while I was sitting here writing about this morning, or doing some research about it, I realized that what I really want to talk to you guys about is just a really human level. The last week has not been great for me emotionally, and the closer we get to Christmas, it gets progressively worse. So I thought now would probably be a good time. You might see me actually crying through one of these. But growing up in our house, my brother and I, we fondly looked forward to Christmas for a long time. And I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know what the story was behind it. But I remember there was one Christmas where my father, who was still living with us at home, not really part of the family though, just kind of wandered in and out at his own time. He's a police officer, so he had shift work, and I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day Eve. He brought my mom home a very expensive bottle of whiskey, I think it was. and she got very angry, and they ended up having a screaming fight, and my dad ended up leaving. Um, and I just remember her talking to my grandmother in the kitchen saying, "That son of a bitch, that son of a bitch." Um, that may be where other people pointed out to her that she was starting to have a drinking problem or a problem drinking. For me, that probably would have been about the age of 7 or 8, I think. Um, so after that, my dad didn't move out until I was 11 or 12. And he actually did it while I was at school. He took my brother out of school um, to help him move. I came home to an empty house. And in true honesty, I said I'd never do that to my kids. And then I married a malignant narcissist. And that's exactly what I did to my kids. So, everybody in my mom's family was born around Christmas. Actually, even my son. Um, and the first boy I was ever engaged to be married, we were together for 4 years. So for a long time there, we still had a lot of birthdays. Anyways, my son was born on the 21st. Has no relation to when I was growing up, though. My mother's birthday was on the 22nd. My uncle's birthday was on the 24th. Of course, Jesus is on the 25th, as well as my first fiance, Jason, who was also on the 25th, and I never in 1 year remembered to get him a birthday gift. So sorry. And then my grandmother was on the 26th. So Christmas was a big time. It was a very stressful time. My mom was a single mom. She was working through the day. She would come home, and even on her birthday, she would go to the mall and she would shop, shop, shop. Um, and Christmas Day, I would say, my grandparents came down. Christmas Day was usually a fairly nice day, or the morning of it, anyways. Um, my brother and I got to open up our stocking and a gift from our family in Nova Scotia, our grandfather. And then we had to wait until everybody finished breakfast to go and open the rest. But sometimes that was more like a 2 or 3 hour break for them. But it all went well up until dinner time. And it was usually around, say maybe 2 hours or an hour from when the turkey's supposed to come out of the oven that my mother had passed out and gone kind of comatose from drinking too much too early for that day. So we usually had to wait for my mother to make up because my grandmother was absolutely terrified of waking her up and telling her to get stuff started. So dinner for us was usually around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Bring that forward to today with my family. My divorce did not go well. It did not go well at all. It was a 5-year temper tantrum for my ex-husband, as I call it. He threw everything at the judge that the judge had to entertain, and I had to verify with proof that wasn't true. Some of them were just outlandish. But he did, when we finally did meet the judge to finalize everything, he did lay into my ex-husband a bit, which was nice. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, really. It does add to a lot of my woeful feelings at Christmas time. I am not with my kids. My son will be 19 years old on the 21st this year. I am hoping to see him on the 29th for a dinner celebration. I can give him some gifts. He's backed out on me twice now, so I don't know. My younger daughter has gotten a job and she's got money and she's doing really, really well. And her and her boyfriend are having a really, really time, but she's handling it amazingly. Somehow now she's mad at me for something I really didn't say. She read parts of what I said and just sort of ran with that, and she's now blocked me on everything. And I've talked to her boyfriend a couple of times, but last 2 times I haven't gotten answers. And my oldest daughter I will not see because we haven't spoken since the divorce. So, so leading up to it, when I see all these people having fun and they're getting excited, also I see that less and less each year, quite honestly. I belong with the Salvation Army here in Ajax through my church, and I used to volunteer at the food bank for a number of years. And I take part in their cattle campaign every year, where we stand at the entranceway, and we have our little, what I refer to as plastic fishbowl, where you put in money that seriously is going to help people who are in this community. It's not being chartered off to Bermuda or somewhere and then getting divvied up around the world. So I like that part. But I have noticed over the last couple of years, and this year may be a little bit different because yesterday it was 16 degrees outside, Celsius. I don't know what that translates into in Fahrenheit, probably around 70 maybe somewhere. And we had this happen a couple of years back, and it's really hard for people to get into the Christmas spirit when they're walking into Walmart in shorts or into the mall in shorts. And that sort of brings my mood down a bit. Somehow it became uncustomary to play Christmas songs for whatever political reason, I don't know. So I don't get to hear my Christmas songs. I don't have people who are really excited about Christmas. I don't see a lot of kids come by anymore. I have people ask me if I have any plans, and this year my only plan is to spend Christmas with my family. And I have a little wreath or a couple of trees or whatever. I'm going to go lay one on my brother's grave, and I'm going to go and lay one on my grandparents' and my mom's grave up in Aurelia. So that will take care of my day, and I'll probably stop in at Swiss Chalet and bring a chicken dinner home. But I've noticed that I've gotten quite teary-eyed about things lately, and suicide does destroy a family, or it can. If a family's not completely strong in their faith or in their belief or in each other or whatever it is, and mine wasn't. We just kind of all fell by the wayside. And I know my dad and his wife aren't doing anything special this year. They're going to go to Swiss Chalet and take home or eat there the same dinner I probably will, but for some reason we can't do it together. My kids, I don't know, maybe as they get older and they have their own families or whatever, things may change, but this is the way it's been for the last couple of years. And I miss my brother. A lot. "20 years ago when he took his life, this is where it all started. When he wasn't invited to Christmas. So that's hard. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go and compose myself. Get some shopping done. But I will bring you the other clip about the history of suicide. Just because I just think it's pretty fascinating how far back it goes. It dates way before Christ. So if any of you have any comments or anything that you want to say, please mention it in the comments. Hit the bell, subscribe if you like. It would be greatly appreciated. The more subscribers, the more I can do this. I haven't done this for a little while just because I've been working at 2 places, but after Christmas I'll have a lot of time to devote to this. So anyways, stay strong, everybody. And if you can't stay strong, call someone. Okay? Thanks, guys.